the inaccessibility, only then I start thinking about my disability. And yeah, I was unable to participate in so many activities. I just I was there in the classroom all alone, and I also had this feeling that I was all alone in the world with disability, because in that school, no one was there with disability. No child was there. So I had this feeling that I am all alone and really did not know what to do, how to answer the people, because people had so weird questions about my disability and the perception, because my disability is so visible. So it can be easily identified that I am a person with disability. So whenever people meet me, they only ask me about disability. They do not know, they do not ask about my name, that they just ask what happened. So earlier I did not know, I was very, I used to feel sad that how to answer, but since I am into this sector, so now I know how to answer these people. Like, so when now people, when they ask about my disability, I tell them that I was just taking a selfie from Eiffel Tower. I just fell down, and this is what has happened. So, and also in college, like university was not accessible. I had a lot of discrimination. I was not included in so many things, and social life was very limited. I didn't have many friends. I didn't do anything except going to college. So life was very demotivated, unhappy, sad. And but the good thing was, when I was doing my graduation, I got my first motorbike, retrofitted bike, and so my mobility got little better. But I was not very happy, because I had the retrofitted bike, and people used to make fun of it, because that bike was very stigmatized. You can see this bike. Actually, in India, there is no company who is manufacturing any kind of vehicle for us. So whenever we buy a two-wheeler, four-wheeler, we need to give our vehicle to a local vendor for all the modification. And these vendors are not sensitized, not educated, and they do not apply any science and technology while doing this. They are just there to make money. So you can see, this is me, this is my college days. And so in 2013, I have completed my master's in social exclusion and inclusive policy from Jamia University. And then I was so keen to have a job. But that time I really didn't have any idea about the jobs for disabled, because that time I didn't know about anything about disability, inclusion, equal opportunity, etc. But I just knew that I need a job. So July 2013, when I was applying to the job, so I sent my CV to this company, Chintan Environmental Research and Action Group. That was a waste management company, and I did not mention about my disability in my CV, because I had that fear that if I mention about my disability, they will reject my CV and I won't be able to get the job. So I was called for the interview, and I went there, and they were not expecting me with disability. So when I have gone there, they were surprised and they were shocked, because the role was a field officer. So I had to work on the field. So they were they were amazed, and they asked, "Are you sure? Would you be able to do that job?" So I told them that yes, if you give me a chance, I will definitely perform well. And uh, I was very happy because that was my first job. But the office was super inaccessible. That was on the second floor. And I have worked in that organization for 2.5 years by crawling for 2.5 years. And that time I was not aware about my rights, about the dignity, about the importance of accessibility. Didn't have any idea related to disability, but I was very happy to have the job. And I was the only employee there with disability. So the washroom was inaccessible, and the everything was super inaccessible because they also didn't have any idea. I was the first employee. So, like as I told you, I was working as a field officer, but it was possible because I had the retrofitted bike, so I could go from one place to another. And that time I was not vocal about my disability and did not know anything about. So and didn't realize about myself also. I just knew that I got the education, so I need to have a job. And then I have got a chance to work with Indigo Airlines. Indigo Airlines is the first aviation industry of India who has taken up this initiative to hire people with disabilities. So that time I was just trying to switch my job. So when I got this invitation, so I just applied, and I just wanted to be a part of that equal opportunity. So I started working there as a ground staff, and so the good thing was I had two more colleagues with disability, and they had the acquired disability. One had spinal cord injury, and the other one has uh, some spinal related problem, but that was not an injury. So they were the first people in my life with disability. And so when I heard their story, I was amazed. They were the first one whom I have seen in my life with disability, and they were very happy. So I just thought that these people have acquired disability and mine has inborn disability, and I'm still struggling to accept it. And these people have got the disability later in their age, but they are so happy, accepted, and they were doing so many things. They were playing and they were quite connected with the world. And so, but so then I started thinking what to do in my life, and I was keen to know about more disabilities, and but I was not happy to work with that organization, that Indigo Airlines, because that time I was thinking something, but I was not sure what to do in life. So during that time, I saw a video of Monica Mazari. Do you know her? So she is the motivational speaker from Pakistan. She had got an spinal cord injury back in 2008, and now she is a Tony and Guy brand ambassador, motivational speaker, and she hosts lots of Pakistan TV serials, and she's a motivational speaker. She goes all around the world, speak about disability. So I just thought that she has acquired disability and she can talk so well. Why not I? Then I decided to work in disability sector. Now the challenge was because I didn't have any idea about this sector and anything. I did not know anyone. any professional, but I just decided I'll leave everything and will work in this sector and I'll make my career because I started thinking about my disability. I could relate my childhood, my things, what has happened, people's reaction, attitude, and so many things. So I was very keen to work in this sector. Then I have started applying. I was started searching specifically in those organizations who were working with people with disability. I just kept sending my CVs to specifically those organizations. And then I got the third job with Cheshire Home. So Cheshire Home works in disability and inclusion. It works in 54 countries. So I was super happy because I thought I really wanted this in my life and that would be my final goal. And then I started exploring in disability and employment and I got the job. So we had a project called Livelihood supported by European Union in which we were identifying people with disabilities, identifying employers, sensitizing them about disability, and this is how we were creating inclusion in employment sector. And through that, I could identify myself because before that, I was not very motivated, not very happy. I used to hide myself because of my visible disability. But since I started meeting with people with other disability, I also got motivated and decided to work in this sector to understand more about it. And then I first ever independent travel to Bangalore in 2016. That was the first travel of mine when I was all alone traveling. No one was there. And I thought I got my objectives in my life. And then I started loving myself. Because I thought my disability gave me this opportunity to explore and a lot more things can be done. Started being more in public. Earlier I didn't like to be in public because wherever you go, if you have a disability, people stares you, people give you a very different reaction, they ask you very weird question. So earlier I didn't have that power to handle such situation. Then I started enjoying. Now I want people to come and ask. I really give you a damn answer so you will be surprised. And if you give some sarcastic answer, they also make some assumption that, oh, he has the attitude also. I'm happy with my attitude. Yeah, so decided never let my disability get in the way of what I want to do, made a pact with myself to not scare of my disability. And this is what I have started. And that was a big role of people in my life because the people who used to ask me weird questions, I later understand how to answer and how and why these kind of people ask me. So I am the big role of the people who were working with me in Indigo Airlines with disability. The way they were dealing with disability, answering people, reaction, it was superb. And so I have, yeah. So some of the very best reactions when I give to people. So whenever people meet me, they ask, "Are you educated?" So it's like they have a doubt on my education. So do you work? When you say yes, I work. Are you sure? Yes, of course, I'm sure I work. Sometimes they ask you a very personal question. Do you have a girlfriend? If you say yes, she must be a person with disability. If you say no, she's so brave. And then an incident happened. So April 2017, my retrofitted bike system has broke off. So the side wheel which you have seen has broke off, and it was so scary. Then I was so scared to use that bike and decided not to ride it anymore, and took the decision to customize a motorbike. But I was very confused what to do, because in India there is no company who is doing such manufacturing. Because you see, whenever we buy any cell phone, the very next month we get the smarter version. But you see, wheelchairs are same, crutches are same, and all the assistive devices are same. No one is making it innovative, smart. Why? So same as with this retrofitted system also, companies have this perception, if they make such kind of vehicles, these people won't be able to afford it. So just let's not do it. So that's the reason whenever people buy two-wheeler, four-wheeler, they have to give their vehicle to a local vendor. So I was very confused what to do. Then I met with a person, his name was Tigmachu, a passionate designer at Department of Design, IIT Delhi. This is about last year, January 2018. So I have discussed this problem with him. That I told him everything, that the balancing system is so bad, the look is very bad, stability is zero. What we can do for this problem? Because it has been 11 years since I'm having this retrofitted system. So then we formed a team of engineers and passionate designers, and then we have started a project called Gladwheel Life. And we were thinking what to do. So we got an idea, and we got an old bike to have the experiment done. So we got a Boxer, that's a very Indian old bike. We got that, and we have done an experiment on that. So this was the experiment. So we have converted that bike into reverse strike. So the reverse strike, which has 3 wheels, 2 wheels at front and 1 wheel at the back. So that was just an experience to see that what we are thinking, is it right or not. So it was successful. Then we have started making the second prototype. Much better than first one. This time we had done a lot of improvement, because we have learned a lot from that first prototype. And then we have found this Gladwheel Life, and during that time we got to know that there is this summit going on in IIM Ahmedabad called Red Brick Summit, in which they are welcoming innovators across India. So we have applied there, they accepted our proposal, and we went there, and we have got the 4th position in that summit. And this was the second prototype. This is my bike, Apache, and we have done with a lot of improvements, and the system was good, balancing system was so good, looks you can also. So can you see, is it better than the other one, or that was better? And right now I am working with Vishesh in Vishesh. So I have joined this organization last year in July, And through Vishesh, I am supporting people with disability by giving them employment. And through Vishesh, I got connected with so many persons with disability, not only in India but across the globe. So as I told you that I just got my identity since I'm here in this sector, and people know me. People know me that he is a job provider. So random people call me that people with disability that do you have a job? Looking for a job? You have done graduation and etc. And which this organization also supported me in every way because I am involved with so many things. They are fine. They just say whatever you do, just be with us. And these are some of my achievements which I have done in my life. Uh, Silver medal in wheelchair racing, participated in bodybuilding also, and gold medal in wheelchair racing, participated in 10 kilometer. Recently, I have participated in 10 kilometer wheelchair race, non-stop 10 kilometer wheelchair race. Whenever I tell people about that, they have the same reaction. Are you sure? So, thank you.